Here are a few of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. If you ask me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money, you're clipped. Here are a few
Okay, see him listing the non-negotiable. He mentioned I think 10 or 8 of non-negotiables, the things that if he see in any woman that is trying to date or they are still doing talking stage situation, bye bye. Let me show you all this video, then I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine. Say I get your number, you give me your schedule, and I plan a date. If for some reason you're busy on that date and you can't make it, it is up to you to give me the day that you're free or your next availability. I'm not about to keep asking. That's too close to begging. Play with somebody else. Number 2, if you ask me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money, you're clipped. You're looking for a sponsor. You're not looking for a relationship. Why these things aren't already done? I don't care how much money I got. It's mine that I work for. Don't ask me to do some shit that you're not doing for yourself. Number 3, if by the 3rd or 4th date, you don't at least offer to buy a round of drinks or treat me to the next one, you're clipped. You're not a vibe. You're a bill. I would never let you pay, but at least offer. Make me think you want to pay. And if you forget to say thank you after I done planned and paid for this date, you're clipped. It don't cost you nothing to say thank you. Number 4, if I offer to pick you up or send you a car, you have a 5-minute window to get there. You knew about this date a day earlier and hours earlier. You should have been ready. I have pulled off after waiting 7 minutes before. You don't respect my time. I don't respect yours. Number 5, if we cannot do an active date, all right, tennis, hike, workout, it's clipped. You're clipped. I know me, I'm gonna catch the ick real fast. We just ain't gonna work out, literally or figuratively. Number 6, you like to go ghost for 2 and 3 days, or I find that you only respond when I text first, you're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy. It'll take you 10 seconds to respond to a message. Hey, busy day, I'll check for you later. That works for me, because I don't need to talk to you every day, all day anyway. There is a huge difference from texting, which is mutual, and you just responding. Fuck out of here. Number 7, probably should have been number 1. Poor hygiene. That's gonna be a firm no for me. That breath ain't hitting, if them toes ain't kicking, and if them nails ain't clean, it ain't gotta be done, just be clean. Your ass is clipped. You're a woman. It's the least you can do. And then lastly, I'm a little bit more lenient on this one, because I don't expect much. We just started dating. If I see that you just innately lack nurturing qualities, it's clipped. I can't teach you how to be a woman to a man. You should not teach me how to be a man to a woman. I can't teach you that.
Wahala. The thing is there anything wrong with his non-negotiables? Or I just feel like some people were coming for him. They were like, there's nothing actually wrong with what the things that he was saying. Those are the standards. Those are the things that he doesn't want to take. He like punctuality. He wants a woman that likes him. He doesn't want to be the one texting all the time. Which, if you're dating somebody, you shouldn't wait for your man to text you all the time. You as well, you can also text him, right? So there's actually nothing wrong. But people are like talking about his attitude towards the way he was saying it. Like, he was very aggressive with it, making it look like if you don't do these things, then I'm out or something. It's making like he doesn't want love. He wants somebody that has everything played by the book. So people are actually coming for his attitude, and I'm like, okay, let me know your thoughts about this video. Do you think it's non-negotiable makes sense or it mean anything? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section about watch his reaction together, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video.
It's clipped. Only respond when I text first, you're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy.
I saw another man stitch this video, so I wanted to come to the original so that I could watch it because all the comments were saying how angry he sounded and his eyes and all this other stuff, right? And after watching the video myself, baby, it sounds like you've been dealing with a bunch of women who don't like you, who don't want to be around you, who don't care. These women are trying to see what they can get out of you. You're talking about women who are asking you for nail money, hair money within the first week of meeting you. Women who do not text you back. Women who leave you on red. Women who only text you when you text them. Women who cancel dates and don't tell you when their availability is or don't even let you know a heads up. What it sounds like is you're dealing with a bunch of women who either are out of your league, only gave you their number for their safety, or immediately realize they just don't like you and don't know how to tell you. I don't know you from a can of paint, but everything that you describe doesn't sound like, your list of things. It just sounds almost like, they don't sound like standards. It sounds like boundaries. It sounds like these are the things you're not going to deal with. I think instead of making a list of the things that you will and will not deal with, maybe just continue working on yourself and becoming a better person and attracting the woman that you want by your own light. Because right now it kind of sounds like you might be the problem and you're not noticing it, and the way that you pick women. So think about that.
So this guy gave his list of non-negotiables. And y'all, nothing he said was really outlandish. He just wanted somebody hygienic, somebody who was punctual, and somebody who was a responsive communicator. And that would seem so simple, but even us as women dating men, it'd be the simple stuff that seems to be a challenge. But it wasn't his non-negotiables, it was the energy. He's not open to love. As much as he may think he's not open to love, because all that vibrato, he's going to push away the people, the women who have no issues with what he said, which is the point. People like this, men like that, they're avoidance. They use their standards, their ego, whatever, to push people away because dare anybody get too close. Because nothing he said was deep, like the real guts of a relationship. Nothing, because he can't even get that far because he got all this push why people can't get close to him in the first place.
Here are a few of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries.
Okay, before I begin, this is not what y'all think it's going to be about. I had seen this man on my timeline quite a bit, and I didn't really understand what was going on other than he was wearing a red jacket and that he had certain dating boundaries because of the text. But it reminded me of a couple things. I'm no longer dating men or cis men. And, I told an ex yesterday, I told him that I have CTPSD from the way that he yelled at me, and when he uses a certain tone of voice, it gives me that. We are co-parents and we have a good relationship. So he and I talked about how he uses that tone when he needs to be clear and firm with our son, and I actually get it because we both have to in a way because we're all autistic, so we need each other to know this is serious. But it also had me thinking about a person right now that I am in separation with. We're not communicating, and they shared with me that they're also impacted by yelling, and being in relationships where somebody flinches at you, controls at you, I need to eat lunch, and yells at you. It's interesting because that really cements itself in your mind, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a teacher, relationships. We have to realize that we are setting the stage for how the people that we love, especially our children, communicate with others. And right now I know that person is probably afraid to talk to me because I did put up, I called something out that they did, but I was being playful about it and it was very brief. But I can totally see the trauma of, I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want to have this happen. Now, while it's a rule for me that I don't yell in relationships because of what happened with my son's father, I don't do that. But those fears are still within us. And if you find yourself attracted to what he's doing, I strongly, strongly suggest that you talk to somebody because you deserve care. You deserve softness. You deserve everything. And I hope that he finds what he's looking for. I personally think a lot of us have grown past being in controlling relationships, and I'm really proud of what I've been seeing in this discourse. But yeah, I mean, the girlies in his comments are eating him up, so we'll see. But yeah, please be safe out there.
Here are a few of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine.
So I saw this video and it kind of reminded me of myself when I was like my early mid-20s. I was a sergeant in the military. I was like very hyper masculine and also like kind of wounded and like pretty insecure and didn't know it yet. And some of you might see this video and think it's super refreshing. Like, oh my goodness, it's a man with standards, like finally, right? But others might hear this and think it feels kind of cold and rigid. I played this video for my wife and she was like, I wish y'all could have seen her face. Here's the thing. As a married man with a very soft, nurturing, feminine woman, and as a guy who was former military and also worked in counterintelligence. And then I spent the last 4 years coaching people on emotional regulation, things like that. I think there's some nuance here that you'll want to pay attention to, okay? Especially if you want to experience a life that is more regulated and relaxed, and you want to experience relationships that are truly healthy versus like kind of performative and unhealthy. The first thing, like what's being described in this video are not boundaries, okay? They're standards, they're expectations, they're rules, and like not knowing the difference is worth paying attention to. Both that he maybe doesn't know the difference, and worth paying attention to if maybe you didn't know the difference. Maybe this is like new information for you that's worth paying attention to. Boundaries protect us, right? Like for example, if you raise your voice, then I'm going to step away, okay? That's a boundary. Expectations and standards attempt to control things outside of you. Do this or you're gone. Do this or you're gone. And that's the language that he used. And we'll talk about that, but ultimately, like, this type of rigidity usually stems in wanting our partner to meet needs that maybe weren't met as children. Man or woman, if you act this way, if you have a lot of these unspoken expectations, uncommunicated expectations, and there's a lot of them, ultimately the other person ends up feeling like they're walking on eggshells. And this is because you are kind of volatile, and maybe that's representative of the environment that you grew up in, okay? You may have lacked a level of safety with one of your primary caregivers or both, and now you look for perfection and have very high standards because that's what gives you a sense of control and safety now. But I'm here to tell you, like, as I've gotten older, as I've matured emotionally and spiritually, true masculine leadership is not concerned with controlling anyone or anything. Like, that's not leadership, and control is not leadership, okay? Think about, oh, did y'all see that wasp? Like, think about our current president, how he's so concerned with law and order, right? Like, does he represent leadership to you, honestly? Now, I can see this brother is, like, attractive probably to, like, a lot of people. He has a lot of resources. He reminds me of those guys, those podcast guys that usually see themselves and talk about themselves as the prize, which is, I'm not even going to talk about that. But I do think it's good to know your worth, right? I do think that's a really good thing. But the language and the delivery to me matters, okay? Calling women something to clip is objectifying. And like, man or woman, when we do this to each other, it doesn't necessarily, like, not even necessarily, it doesn't open the door to connection and intimacy. It just doesn't, okay? Now, again, we tend to do this to people when we've been hurt, right? This is posturing. This is a wall that we're putting up. Like, rappers put this wall up against transactional women trying to take from them, but they're also often very transactional in their behavior themselves. So chicken or the egg, I don't know which came first. But if you hear a man talk like this and it actually sounds attractive to you, that's worth reflecting on. Because if he talks like this, one, this is the same transactional energy he's trying to protect himself against, but also he's giving that, okay? So you might not want to be in a relationship like that. But also, two, you might be drawn to this kind of rigidity and structure if you've been in chaotic relationships. A man with firm rules can feel safe, but the thing that you have to watch out for is it feels safe at first. And I'm intentionally not using the word boundaries here again because everything that he laid out here are not boundaries. Over time, all of these rules, these checklists, these expectations, and I don't even know at what point you communicate them, probably a huge turnoff if you do it within the first few dates. But anyways, all of these things ultimately feel controlling as opposed to grounding. Now, when you come from a lot of dysfunction, again, initially, it's going to feel different and it might feel good, but it's not going to stay that way. The opportunity here for you is recognizing that you don't have to outsource your safety to someone else's rigid structure and control. You can learn how to create safety in your own body. Again, this is for you if this is what's attractive to you, okay? When you're regulated, you don't need a man's extensive checklist and rules to feel safe and to feel held. When you're regulated, you can choose a partner who offers clarity and compassion, not control and expectation and cold energy. I remember my marriage therapist told me once, your job, your soldiers, like, they need Sergeant Scott, but your wife needs Sydney. That's what really changed the game for me. And I said a lot in what my therapist just said. Really, she said a lot. And you got to be able to know the difference. You got to be able to grasp all that simple line means. The real question here at the end of the day is not, do I meet his standards, but ultimately, why does this energy feel attractive to me? And what does that tell me about where I still might need some healing myself? Because at the end of the day, again, clarity without warmth is not leadership, it's insecurity, more than likely. And again, masculine leadership has very little to do with control and having an extensive list of rules. And I don't know why he's bucking at the camera. You're clipped every time he lays out one of his rules and expectations. I don't know. Again, this just kind of reminded me of myself when I was like still trying to step into what I thought a man was supposed to be. And I was very hurt and just didn't know it yet. But I don't know. If you watch the whole video, let me know what your thoughts are. I haven't seen his videos. I saw this one. And judging by the fact that he has a couple million followers all over, this could just be social media. This might not even be who he actually is in real life. Like, let's be honest. And dating on social media is definitely not real life. But anyways, that's what I got.
I kind of agree with one of the creator that says that he's probably dating or trying to talk to women that do not like him. Because the things that he's saying are things that you're going to do to a man that you don't really, really like. That is wasting your time. Like, a better way for you to cut off a guy that is talking to you and don't want to talk to him is to ask him for money immediately. If you want a guy to stop talking to you, that is a trick. In case you don't know, just ask for money. A very big money, not even money for nails or money for hair. Ask for money for business. You want to do something, just ask for money. It's not going to talk to you again. So I feel like most of the time, if you're a man and you're talking to a girl and she's asking you for money all the time, or asking for money for hair, or she's telling you that, oh, for us to go for a date, you must pay for this, pay for that, pay for this. She doesn't really, really like you, and she doesn't want to waste her time with you. Eventually, she might like you if you're patient. Because most of the time, most women that are in a relationship did not like their man at first. They were like, it's not my type. But later on, they started dating the guy, or they even got married to the man, right? So I just feel like at that first stage, if she's asking you for money, when it's time for this, she's not so excited. But I feel like 5 minutes date time, like lateness is too close. I just feel like she's a woman. She has to, yes, 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 you have to do your makeup and all of that. But then 5 minutes is too much. It's too tiny for you to wait for her, but that is that. I feel like when it comes to texting and asking for money and all of that, if a woman doesn't like it, she's not going to do all of that, right? So I personally agree with one of the creators that was saying that is probably dealing with women that does not like him back. So that is a better way for you to just let them go, right? If you're dealing with a woman that doesn't like you back, she might not tell you directly that she doesn't like you back, but her action would already tell you that, I don't think this girl really likes me, and just move to the next, right? I feel like that's the best instead of you waiting or trying to pursue her the more, the more, the more. And I personally do not see anything wrong with having non-negotiables before in a relationship or before you start dating somebody. I actually feel like women should also do that. When you should have your non-negotiable when you're in a relationship before you start having the relationship, when you're talking stage and all of that, have your non-negotiable. So immediately those red flags or those things are happening, just bye bye. Don't think about it. Don't give excuse. Don't make exception. Just bye bye, because you already know that these things is a no go area for you. When somebody doesn't do something for you, or doesn't reply you and tell you I'm busy and all of that, or doesn't even talk to you for a whole day and doesn't give you a genuine reason why they don't talk to you, bye bye. Like, have your own non-negotiable. I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. Anyways, guys, what's your take on this video? Can you share your thoughts down in the comment section? Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mara Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.